Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth and today I have another tag for you. I was tagged to do the work in progress tag by M over at Julian Greystroke, and I will leave her channel and the original down below. I'll be using the original list of questions, so they'll be in a different order from when she had them. But hold on just a second. My glasses are filthy. Oh, now I can see you. Okay, so this is supposed to be for the project that you are currently working on. I have 5 projects that I'm currently working on, but I have chosen 2 of them because they are vastly different and I kind of wanted to talk to you about both of them anyway. So here we go. Question number 1 is, what is the working title of your book? Well, like I said, I want to talk to you about 2 of them. So one of them will definitely keep this title. This is Dragon on My Neck. I am revamping this book. So it will have a different intro and a different cover and all that stuff, but the name Dragon on My Neck will remain the same. The other one is in this little notebook right here, and as far as I know, the title is going to be Polonius Punk in the Cruise Ship Conundrum because I love that title. I think it's amazing, and I believe we'll keep it. Question number 2 is, where did the idea for your book come from? So back in the day, I was really active on this website called writing.com, which I'm sure is still up and going strong. They're a wonderful website for writers. But I entered a contest on there that had some prompts about writing a short story that was about a dragon, but it kind of a new perspective on a dragon. And I didn't wind up winning. I wound up getting second or third place, I think, actually. But the story itself kept poking at me, kept prodding me, the characters kept talking to me, and Dragon on My Neck was born. I did many years of research and then went, you know what? I don't care anymore. They're going to be my kind of dragons. And so they were. But that's how Dragon on My Neck got started. Now, for Polonius Punk and the Cruise Ship Conundrum, I have not even begun to edit the first book in the series. This is the second book in the series. But I'm taking part in a readathon right now. And one of the books I read was an old Babysitter's Club book from 1988. And they went on a cruise ship and they were talking about all the different pieces of a cruise ship. And all of a sudden, I just got to thinking about all the things you could see and all the people you could see and the things that might happen. And then Polonius and his friends and family were just whispering in my head that I needed to write that story and let them go on a cruise and see crazy things and have an adventure. So that's what we're doing. Question number 3 is, what genre does your book fall under? As you may suspect, Dragon on My Neck is a fantasy book. It's also kind of a fantasy family drama. So there you go. Polonius Punk is a children's chapter book adventure. Question number 4 is, which actors would you choose to play in your movie rendition? The honest answer to this is I'm not really sure. I've always visualized like Tom Hiddleston as either King Ferdinand or the voice for one of the dragons. Um, Robert Downey Jr., of course, no, I'm kidding. I don't think that he would actually have a good part to play in this movie. But um, I don't know. For Dragon on My Neck, Tom Hiddleston is basically the only one I've thought about. The girls need to be uh, just kind of college age, band nerdy types, kind of like me. Dragon voices should be rumbly. The little girl dragon's voice should be very high and sweet. Things like that. But I don't know exactly who I would want to play them. As for Polonius Punk, well, I've got a few images that I will line up here. I do want to preface this by saying I did a Pinterest search, and several of these I'm not actually certain who they are. I tried to find out and couldn't find the original sources, so that's my bad. But I'm going to toss a couple of images up here. Grandpa Punk is a very fun-loving guy. He loves jazz and classic rock, and he invents crazy things. So this is the type of grandpa-esque person I would prefer for him to look like. There's Dad Punk then, who is an ex-jock who still likes to keep up his body and kind of sprawls everywhere that he sits down. He's very sweet and loving, but still very jockish. And then there's Mother Punk, who is short, artistic, and very much rockabilly. I see here as a bit of an updated version of this Hilda by Dwayne Breyer, who was the only plus-size 50s model. And then we have Levi Miller, who played Peter in the new Pan movie, and a young Mickey Rooney. And those are the kind of boys I can definitely see playing John and Polly. Question number 5 is, what is the one-sentence synopsis of your book? For Polonius Punk and the Cruise Ship Conundrum, the one-sentence synopsis would be, boy and family go on cruise, craziness ensues. So Dragon on My Neck's one-sentence synopsis is, tiny special dragon kidnapped by crazy fairy queen, craziness ensues. Question number 6 is, will your book be self-published or represented by an agency? Good question. Dragon on My Neck is already self-published. It's available on Amazon, and I'm revamping it right now, like I said. So this one, I'm really thinking about taking it and the rest of the series down and then trying to sell them, because I do have 2 finished manuscripts that are book 4 and 5 that are going through the editing and all of that process. And I'm wondering if maybe I can get them traditionally published, because I have the final 2 books that have never been self-published. So I will have to let you know how that works out. But this one, Polonius Punk and the Cruise Ship Conundrum, I'm really contemplating polishing up the first book and seeing if I can sell it to a children's book agency. And if that is the case, then this one will most likely be traditionally published as well. Question number 7 is, how long did it take you to write the first draft of this manuscript? So for Dragon on My Neck, the first draft of the manuscript actually took about 1.5 years, I think. I didn't work on it as regularly as I should have, and you can kind of tell when you read it, honestly. But this book took about 1.5 to 2 years, and I did a lot of research. So I did a lot of research over it before I started it, and then I started it because of the contest, obviously. But I had been researching previously, wanting to write a dragon novel. So all in all, with the research and then finally finding the contest and writing and starting to write and all of that, it took about 5 years. But the draft itself took about 1.5 years. For Polonius Punk and the Cruise Ship Conundrum, I just started this last week. I am not very far into it at all. So yeah, it's going good so far. Number 8 is, what other books would you compare this story to? The short answer here is that I wouldn't. I wouldn't know where to start comparing. This book, Dragon on My Neck, is about a tiny fairy dragon who is kidnapped and turned into a necklace by a crazy pants fairy queen. And I haven't read any other books that are really comparable to that storyline. And I don't want to say my book is like this book, because then it pigeonholes it, and I don't want that to happen. As for this, again, I don't want to pigeonhole my book, and I don't know, unless it's an updated boys version of a very, very adventurous Nancy Drew Hardy Boys without really solving mysteries. I don't have any idea. It's not, I'm not going to pigeonhole myself. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not going to do it. Even though I just kind of did it, I'm not going to do it. Question number 9 is, who or what inspired you to write this book? Well, the inspiration for various characters in Dragon on My Neck came from family and friends, just people that I have observed throughout my life. They become the basis for all of my characters, really. And like I said, I had been searching to find the perfect outlet, because I wanted to write a dragon story. I've always loved fantasy and dragons and all of that, and I wanted to do something different. And so really, I wish I could remember the name of the person who put on the contest, but that contest really gave me the push and inspired me to write Dragon on My Neck. Although the characters have apparently lived with me forever. Mom tells this story about how when I was about 2 years old, I was playing and the room was a mess, and she came in to tell me to clean. And I told her that it was the dragons that did it and she should make Al clean. So obviously, I've had them with me my entire life, and they've been waiting on me to write their story. As for Polonius Punk, the original story was inspired by some wordplay that I was doing, and um, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I thought of a word, and then I was like, well, that's not the right word, but that would be funny. And I wound up writing this sentence about Polonius Punk, and it just kept going from there. The grandpa is inspired by my grandpa with just a little bit more pizzazz put in there. um, the mom is inspired by me and some of my friends. The kids are inspired by kids that I have taught. And, it's just, I thought about what the kids I've taught might like to read, and tried to go from there. And hopefully, it is a well inspired book. The 10th and final question is, what else about your book might pique the reader's interest? Dragon on My Neck is the very beginning of the Stone Dragon saga, which has 5 books. Well, 4, and I'm working on number 5 at the moment. But those 5 books all have the basic overarching storyline of attempting to find all of Alfonsor's family who has been turned to stone, waken them, and then search for Passiona and stop that crazy pants fairy queen and her really, really stupidly insane sorcerer buddy, Fran May, before they can attempt to take over Earth and Realta, which is the fairies' homeland. As for Polonius Punk, this story and the one prior to it follow a little boy whose family legacy is that everyone in the family has adventures and they keep adventure journals. So, from a kid's standpoint, this is a fabulous adventure story. They are going on a lot of different hikes and to museums and looking for pirate treasure in a cave. In this book, they're going to be on a cruise ship and they're going to be spotting like a stowaway and possibly a television princess and all sorts of craziness. And from an adult or teacher's standpoint, although most teachers are adults, this is a book that includes kids excitedly, happily writing in their journals. It includes kids learning because they want to learn about music and they want to learn about the books that Grandpa Punk suggests to them. And it is a family story because these kids, their parents are best friends, they're best friends, and they're going on a family cruise. Grandpa Punk has adopted Johnny, who is Polonius's best friend. And so this is kind of adopted grandkid syndrome. This is family. We're as tight as we can possibly be, and we're doing all of this together. So it shows good friendship skills, good morals, and great adventure with your family. And in today's day and age, you really need to show that you have parents and grandparents and family members in stories, because a lot of the time what happens is children's middle grade, young adult characters, they don't have present parents. They don't have, either they have dead mom syndrome, or they have the parents are there but they're working all the time, or whatever it is. You just don't see authoritative figures unless they are in the villainous aspect of the story. So this is hopefully shining a better light on parents and grandparents and showing kids that they can have adventures and fun with their family. Okay, that is all I have for the work in progress tag. I am not going to specifically tag anyone, but if you're doing the hashtag Hot and Sticky Summer Writing Challenge, I would love for you to pick this tag up and let us know what you're working on and a little bit more about it through this venue. If you have already done the tag, or if you do the tag, please come back and leave us a link to it down below so we can all go and check it out and see what you're working on. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up if you did. Leave any comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you later. Bye.